Under the Hard Hat, Episode 9. Pressure Reveals Character. Anyone can stay calm when things are easy. Anyone can be positive when everything is going their way. But pressure has a way of exposing what's really underneath the surface. Let me say that again. Pressure has a way of exposing what's really underneath the surface. It reveals your habits, your discipline, your communication, and your character. Let me repeat that. It reveals your habits, your discipline, your communication, and your character. That's why preparing yourself before pressure comes is one of the greatest investments you'll ever make. Pressure doesn't build character, it reveals it. Let me say that again. Pressure doesn't build character, it reveals it. Because when everything starts going sideways, or things on the job, or chaos, or even at home, or with your kids, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on your habits. All right. This is Under the Hard Hat, powered by TEHFL. Just real conversation from the field, stuff we don't always say out loud, but we probably should. If you've worked in the construction if you've worked in construction long enough, you already know. Plans change, equipment breaks, weather rolls in, someone calls in sick. The customer changed their mind. Pressure isn't the expectation, it's part of the job. The question is, who are you when it shows up? Let me say that again. Pressure isn't expectation, it's part of the job. But the question is, who are you when it shows up? Okay, I'm going to paint a picture. Think about those days. Everything seems to happen at once. You're behind schedule. The truck is late. The asphalt is cooling down. Equipment isn't operating right. Someone looks around trying to figure out what to do next. Those are the moments where you find out what people are really made of. Some people panic. Some people blame. Some people complain. Let me say that again. Some people panic, some people blame, and some people complain. And those are the moments where you find out what people are really made of. Then there's that one person who slows down, who slows everything down, takes a breath, and starts solving the problem instead of being part of the problem. They solve the problem. Not because they have all the answers, but because they've learned how to handle pressure. And that's leadership. And I'm going to say that again. It's not because they have all the answers, but because they've learned how to handle pressure. That is leadership. Let me say that again. That is leadership. The truth. Pressure doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you've become. Who it reveals who you've been becoming. Let me say that again. Pressure doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you've been becoming. If if you're practicing staying calm, that's what comes out. If you practice communication, that's what comes out. If you practice taking ownership, that's what comes out. So remember, whatever you practice is what comes out. But if you've been feeding frustration, blame, excuses, pressure exposes that too. So remember, whatever you practice is what shows. Pressure doesn't create your habits. It shines a light on the ones you've already built. Let me say that again. Pressure doesn't create your habits. It shines a light on the ones you've already built. Honest part, I've had days where pressure got the best of me. At home, work, with my kids, other people, I rushed. I got frustrated. I let my emotions start making my decisions. Let me rephrase that. Let me say that again. I rushed, I got frustrated, and I let my emotions start making my decisions. Looking back, it usually wasn't a situation that hurt me. It was my response. My response is what always hurts me in the long run. That's that was a hard lesson to learn because I realized if I wanted to become a better leader, I had to prepare myself before the pressure showed up. Let me say that again. I realized if I wanted to become a better leader, I had to prepare myself before the pressure ever showed up. The shift. Now, when pressure starts building, I remind myself of something I've talked about before. It's the calm reset. Control the moment. Create space. Own your tone. Move to the standard. Let me say that again. The calm reset. Control the moment. Create space. Own your tone. Move to the standard. Don't speed up. Slow down. Take a breath. Look at the facts. Communicate clearly. Focus on the next right step. Pressure wants you to react. Character helps you respond. Let me say that again. Pressure wants you to react. Character wants you to respond. The tool. Here's something that helped me more times than I can count. When pressure hits, I ask myself three questions. What can I control? What needs to happen next? How do I want people to remember how I handled the moment? Let me say those three questions again for you. What can I control? What needs to happen next? How do I want people to remember how I handled this moment? Those are three really good and powerful questions to help you through any pressured situation. Those three questions have helped me stay grounded when everything around me felt chaotic. The next time life turns upside up, the pressure, let me re-say that. The next time life turns up the pressure, don't ask why this happened to me. Ask, what is this revealing about me? So the next time life turns up the pressure, don't ask why this is happening to me. Ask, what is this revealing about me, or myself? Because pressure doesn't create your character. It simply introduces everyone else's to it, everyone else to it. And once you learn those lessons, there comes a time when they no longer just for you. They're meant to be passed on. And it brings you so much peace to know that you know how to handle the situation. Next time, we are going to talk about something every experienced tradesperson or blue collared worker remembers, being the new guy. It's a huge thing, the new guy. And if you've been around long enough, one day you'll remember the experience one. You'll be the experienced one. The question is, what kind of person are you going to be for the next generation? Let me say that again for you. The question is, what kind of person are you going to be for the next generation? Let me say that for a third time. The question is, what kind of person are you going to be for the next generation? And that's what we are talking about in our next episode. Teach the new guy. I'm Eric. This is Under the Hard Hat, powered by TEHFL, where real work builds real people. We'll get into that next time. Don't forget to hit the download and the follow for the podcast. And also make sure you go over to Under the Hard Hat on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and follow.